What's up, guys? Absolutely Beast here. So this is attempt number 2 at recording this voiceover because I'm having some sort of issue uploading it, and I tried to retry it, and it ended up going out. So, bringing you my very first race on the Forza 7 multiplayer. I was super excited to do this, and I got in here, and man, those guys took that corner so deep. So I was super excited to get in here and to check out the game and to try everything out. So I was a little disappointed initially because there's no class-specific hoppers. Like, you can't go in and do like a X-class hopper or a R-class hopper or something like that. But they do have some mixed hoppers. So they have a what do they call it? Introduction to Forza hopper. They have a hot hatch. They have a classic muscle cars. They have a classic street cars. They have the Track Toys hopper, which is like the BAC Mono and the Ariel Atom V8, and then they have this one, which is Rise of the Supercar. And this was the first thing that I raced in the career, and I picked the F50 as my free car, and so I have the most actual driving time in this car. I have about 90 minutes worth of actual seat time in this car. So I was super excited that I get to race this. So yeah, it's pretty fun. This is a Suzuka. I believe it's a West Circuit of Suzuka. So this is my first time driving this track. And I've only driven Suzuka a handful of times. I raced it, back in like 2008, 2009. Okay, so right there, I stayed in the middle of the track. I even moved left halfway across the track, considering the line I was going to take, which would have given me a faster speed. And that guy went off the track, and then he just came right back on the track and just slid all the way over into me, which, I mean, I understand it's not easy to get back on the track sometimes, but if someone's behind you like that, especially since I already gave him half the track to come back onto, and then he has to do that, I mean, he hit me, so it wasn't like I was at fault there. But yeah, so you'll see a change in me here now that I'm driving multiplayer. I'm much more defensive and respectful. I drive much more the way I normally would drive. Instead of the career where I tend to be more aggressive and, kind of push my way through sometimes and stuff like that. I mean, in the multiplayer, obviously, it's a much different story, so I'm not even going to, if I even so much as clip someone, I wait and let them go ahead because I don't want, to give the wrong idea that I'm trying to be aggressive or anything like that. So I really only make, on the first 3 turns on this race, I didn't do so well. I made a little bit of sliding, but there's really only one error that I make this whole race, and it's coming up soon. That corner right there, I was making up a lot of time on people. The first lap, I caught up real quick to some guys that were ahead of me right there. Now that is a corner that's a lot like a lot of the corners on the Nürburgring. Some of the, if you use like braking lines, they tell you to brake early, and if you're really confident with your car and you're really familiar with how your car's going to behave, and you're confident in the grip and everything that you get from it. And that was the first time I realized right there that I didn't need to take the turn in third, that I could stay in fourth. And so that was eye-opening. So each time I take that turn, the rest of the race, it's better. But a lot of times when you're very familiar with the car and you're confident in your own skills and what the car can do, you can really push hard through some corners, and you can make up a lot of ground. And I mean a lot of ground. Like, just imagine, you're at the top of a gear and you just stay on the gas for like an extra second while everybody else is already off the gas and braking, kind of a thing. I mean, you can make up hundreds of feet on people, a second even, which is absolutely significant. So that's what I was doing. Just kind of trying to stay clean and drive as clean as possible. Now, the one thing with this car, I really love driving like the GT type race cars, not like the big ones, but the ones that are like, built for racing, that have way better handling and braking, all that stuff. So, see right there, I mean, I went pretty deep in that one. I am braking a little bit early. I was being a little conservative because, basically what I'm saying here is, the acceleration, the handling, and the speed of this car are really good. They're right on par with what I'm used to driving, in the R class, or honestly even in X class. I mean, it handles really well. Handles a lot like a race car. But the braking on this car is what's weak. So you'll see I take it pretty well this time. Yeah. So I got back on the gas much earlier, which also means that I'm going faster, so I have to adjust my braking a little bit coming into this turn, because this is a really tight turn. And that was actually pretty much flawless right there. That one I cut a little bit on the grass and I lost a little bit too much speed, but like I said, this is my first time driving this track, so I ended up being ranked 21 again over the grass, and that was my only mistake right there. So I went over the grass, and because I had gone too far right, I was like, uh-oh, so I lifted off and let my car drift left, and then that happened. And also, I never looked behind me, as you see, because right after I looked behind me, I wound out third gear for like 2 seconds on the rev limiter, because I never looked back. And so it's really weird for me to look back, and it kind of threw me off, but I was really scared. Just the feeling I got from racing this multiplayer, how much excitement there was, how much I enjoyed racing the car, how much I was constantly checking the thing behind me to my left to see how far behind me they were, and how just really into the race I was. See, I pushed it a little bit deeper there, but again, cut it off early. But that's a real high-speed corner, so it's, you know, because I'm not as comfortable with the braking on this car, I'm a little tentative still on the braking. I mean, I have, you know, it's my most driven car, but I only have about 90 minutes in it, so, you know, I'm still not, like, super in tune with the car yet. But I mean, the feeling I got from racing this multiplayer, the excitement, and this is the best one yet. Yeah, woo! That's how you take it right there. And I was flying when I came into this corner, so I was a little worried I was going to overshoot it. So I broke slightly earlier than I thought I needed to, which actually worked out perfectly because I almost went off anyway. And that was much better, that turn right there. So, just, you know, this will be a learning experience for me, but I will absolutely be racing more multiplayer. It's way good. It's way good. I just the competition racing with other people, I was just so, my heart was racing almost the whole race because I was in first, and, you know, I haven't raced multiplayer really in several months, so to be in here and to be back into it is just absolutely awesome. Now, I don't know if I said this, but I think I was ranked like 21 on this track for fastest lap. There were really only like 150 people that had raced this track in the Americas, but, you know, still 21, I'll take that for first time racing it. And I haven't raced this car for a couple days, maybe even a week, so anyway, really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for being here and checking it out. Make sure you check back again soon. I'll be putting up plenty more multiplayer videos and another one tomorrow, so make sure you browse the rest of my content on my channel if you like my stuff, and I will catch you another time. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.